guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to start another reading vlog. This time it's for Halloweekend, and it's the second weekend, so I'm going to go to a different room in the game board that Lexi at Books with Lexi created. I will have her link down below as well as her announcement video. I think it's a fun readathon because it's it's putting most of my spooky reads on the weekends. Which is kind of interesting. Like, it's kind of spacing them out a little bit more because I also want to take part in Victober, which I'm doing during the week more. And then, you know, if prompts cross over, that's what's going to happen. But I'm right now trying to, as I said, I want to participate in both. So this is kind of, I'm doing my vlogs the same way, where the 4 days of the week, which is more Victober, and any read that I feel like my mood just swings all over the place, as you'll see from the video before this. And then, like, this one will be hopefully books that have a spooky-ish tint, you know, there's something paranormal or ghostly, or, you know, there's something to it that is more on, or horror on that end. And we'll see how this goes. So I am going to show you the stuff. Again, my setup is not great. Sorry about that. It's just, I'm old school and we're just going to look at my computer screen. But I'm going to do the dining room, which is, you're supposed to, I think you're supposed to read a spooky book, or they're supposed to, scary. The books are supposed to be scary. So I really did not pay attention to the room theme. I just picked books that matched last time. So this time I'm going to be a little bit better about picking scary books. So what that means is either they're scary. I know there's an intimidating room, which I will get to. So some of the books might wait till then, but some books I have to get to because of library holds and, or I want to get to them. So this is the scary room. So again, I'm going to probably pick something that might be considered scary. It might be really lightly scary. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to roll right now. I'm going to do 3 so that, I can pick an audiobook for tomorrow for work, and I can pick a physical book to start tonight because, okay, so my 72 hours, I start Thursday at 6 p.m. So we are at 5:45 right now. So I'm going to be a little late starting, but I do it at 6 p.m. on Thursday night, and I go to Sunday night at 6 p.m. So that's kind of the range of this video. Like last weekend, I might cut it a little bit, and just when I finish a book, then or DNF the book, I might just end the vlog a little bit early. But that's kind of my goal, is to stay with, like, do the 72 hours every weekend. And I've picked 6 p.m. pretty much. We're just going to go with that. So anyway, so I'm going to do 3 rolls, as I said, to do one for an audiobook for tomorrow, one to do a physical tonight, and then one that could be an audiobook if I finish the first one at work, or it could be my next physical read. It just depends on what we come up with, because if the audiobook is really long, then I don't need an extra. I can do another physical, and then we'll see. We're gonna see. I'm just gonna do 3 so that we have at least, we're gonna be partially through the 72 hours before I have to do rolls again, which will probably happen either Friday night or Saturday morning. It depends. So other than that, I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about, except that Saturday, I still have to go to work on Friday. So that's, as I said, I'm going to be doing that. And then Saturday, I might be going with my family. We might go to one of go wine tasting at one of the places over in Vancouver. So my parents can pick up their quarterly, well, no, it's 3 times a year, the box that they get of wine. So we go and do some wine tasting and hang out. And so that might happen on Saturday. So there might be some of that in here as well. I was trying to figure out if there is any fall, like, related themes that I could use for going to that winery, but I don't know. You know, my cat, he just does not like it when I work in here or do stuff like this. Especially right after work. Anyway, let's get this done so Cooper can have my lap. Okay, again, apologize for the bad setup, but whatever. So here is the dining room. So I ended here on 17 last weekend. So I am going into the dining room because I've decided to go like a U shape through the, well, here, let me show you the whole room. So I've decided to go from here down here and then finish with intimidating. That might be a bad idea, but that's just the way I'm going to do it. Anyway, so this time we are going to start, as I said, I'm here on 17, and then so when I, whatever I roll, I'll go into here. So the objects to pick up are the camera, I think it's a camera, equipment of some sorts, so I'm guessing a camera, and then the ghost. And so I will either do an extra read for each item, or I will attach it, or do them both together. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so we're gonna do 3 rolls, and hopefully I can find some books to read. So here we go. Again, we're gonna do a 6-sided die. So here we go. A 6. Ooh, we start out big. Okay, so here, let me get that. Okay, so here we go. So I can go 1, 2, 3 and get the equipment. Read a book with the cover that looks photographied. I think that's the way I said it. Instead of drawn or illustrated. Ooh, that might be interesting. Okay. Or or you can do the book, or you could do an activity, or do something to appreciate the season. Can I do the wine tasting for that? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I can see a cover that looks like it's a drawing. It's a drawing or illustrated, but it looks photography. We'll have to see, or like a photo. Anyway, so okay, so that's 3. We could go 4, 5, 6 for 5. Even number of letters in the title. Okay, I could totally do that. Can I just do that? We'll just do that one. We'll just claim that was the first one. So we're just gonna say we're on 5, but we've crossed over that. So maybe I can do both together, or I will do that one separately. We'll see. But anyway, let's do another one. Oh gosh, another 6. Okay. Let's see here. Well, we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 13. An anticipated book. Well, most of my books, I want to read them all, but they're not new. None of mine are, I don't think any of them are new releases, I think. No. So anyway, let's try another way. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Read a book recommended by a booktuber. Oh man. Well, okay, I could do that one. Okay, yeah. Okay, I know a book I could do that front. Okay, so I'm going to do that one. Why not? I'm just going to do it. So again, so we have 5, and then so 12. The activity with that one is eat or drink a fall themed treat. I mean, that could happen. You never know. Okay, let's do one more roll, and then I will show you what books. And a 1. Oh, then I get the ghost. So we'll hit the ghost. So the ghost is to read a book you can spell scare on the cover. Oh, I hope I can do that, because or I could watch reading sprints. So we'll have to see. Let me see if I can find books for these 5. That's what I've decided to do. And if I have issues, we will come back and do more rolls, but I think we'll start with those. Okay, sorry if it's getting darker in here, but time is passing. It's now after 6, so technically my 72 hours has started. Anyway, so first we're going to do, we hit box number 5, which is to read a book with an even number of letters. I am going to pick, is this the one I picked? Yes. So I'm going to pick Hollow by Karina Halley. So I picked this up just yesterday, and I really want to read this. It's a gothic shade of romance. So it's a sexy, dark fantasy reimagining of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, where there's 3 of them. It's Katrina, Ichabod, and Brom. And there's magic and stuff. So I'm going to pick this as scary. It could get dark. Yeah. It said sexy dark. So I would say that's scary. I'm gonna go with that. Anyway, I really want to read this. I picked this up completely on a whim. So I want to read it. I want to read this. I'm gonna start this tonight. This will be my physical read. So then, I picked for 12 a book, read a book recommended by a booktuber. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Black Mouth by Ronald Malfi. So I have seen this on Mike's Books Reviews. I think he's talked about him all year, and I had picked this up before he started reading him, and this one is the one that's supposed to be kind of like it, but different. So I know it has to do with some people who've been running away from something that happened in their childhood, and they come back and have to do something. I don't even know. I'm also going to count this as the one that looks like the cover is photographed for the equipment prompt, because I think that looks like that could be a photograph, but it isn't. It's drawn. It looks like it's drawn when I look at it really closely, but who knows? I don't know if it really is or not. I'm going to count that though. So this one is going to be to get my equipment, as well as one, box number 12, which is a book recommended by a booktuber. So I do want to read. So that'll be probably my audiobook tomorrow. But I also have another one that's an audiobook that could be tomorrow for the ghost prompt, which is read a book you can spell scare on the cover. Okay, so I saw other people do this. So at first I didn't know you could do that, because I kind of didn't do that on the last room. I didn't spell it out using all the extra letters, but I'm going to do it this time. So I have an S, a C, an A, and then my R is in remarkably, and then an E. That's the best I can do. Anyway, and this is someone you can build a nest in. So this one, I know this is kind of like weird fantasy, and I almost picked this for the booktuber one because I know that Gavin reads it all. I think he really enjoyed it when he read it with a few other people earlier this year. But I have the audiobook for this already that I own. I got it on a sale somewhere. And so this one has to do with, it's kind of like Green Teeth, but different. So whoever's this name is a shapeshifter, and somebody comes to her swamp, and I think she kills them or something happens, and then she meets somebody that helps her or does something. And so it sounds a lot like Green Teeth to me, but I know it's different, but it's a fantasy and sounds fun. So I'm going to read this one for the scare, to spell scare on the cover, which I think will get me those prompts. So, but I don't think I will get to, we'll see how this goes. Because again, I'm pretty sure this audiobook is longer than how much I will work tomorrow. I think I will make a good dent in it, but I don't know if I'll finish it tomorrow. So we will see. But I am going to start this tonight. So that's where we're going to end this. And then, as I said, this will be my audiobook tomorrow. Unless I decide to go with this one. I'm going to do them out of order. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know if there's an actual rule about that, and I'm not going to look it up because I don't care. So I will either start with my audiobook was someone you can build a nest in. I might start this one and then come to this one, but I kind of really want to get to this one because I've been putting it off and I've been meaning to get to it. So I don't know. We'll see. But those are the audiobooks that I will listen to. And then, as I said, my first physical book will be Hollow, and then we'll see how it goes. If this stuff takes me, through the weekend, because this is quite a bit, and they're, not huge, but there's only so much time. I might just have to roll to get to to spot 19, so that I can continue into the next room. And again, as I said, I think all of these have scary elements to them. Again, this is horror. Small town horror. This one has some kind of weird shape-shifting creature that it has monster hunters coming after her and so she, is defending herself, but there's scary stuff in that, I'm sure. And then again, this is Sleepy Hollow. I just want to reimagining. I just want to read that one. So we're going to go with it. So anyway, that's it for now. I will check in with you maybe later tonight to see how this is going. And I'll check in then.
What's wrong? What? And of course you get stuck. You always get stuck. Truman. Yeah? You gonna talk to me? Yeah? You're a talker. Yeah. Yeah. Are you winning the argument? What? What? Are you saying it's time for bed? Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, you're cute. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Yeah, yeah. Hey guys, so it is Thursday night it's about 9:45, so I'm gonna start wrapping things up. Sorry. Yeah. Me and Truman were having a little conversation. I don't know why he was meowing at me, but you know, we were just talking. Anyway, so I made it about 65 pages into Hollow by Karina Halle. So this is definitely, it's a retelling of Sleepy Hollow, but there's a Sleepy Hollow Institute. So there's this college that deals with magic, and it's a very mysterious place. The local town doesn't remember, doesn't know what's going on and stuff. And it's really kind of interesting. We're getting multiple perspectives. We get Kat's or Katrina's, and we also get Ichabod's. And again, he is a good 10 years older than her, but he has lived a life. Like, wow, I'm really interested to hear more about the things that happened in his life, because the few things we've learned so far has been interesting. And then so the first couple chapters, let me back up a bit. So the problem with this book right off is there are timeline breaks where it starts with one chapter when she is a child, and they say she is 9 and give a date for that, 1862. The next chapter, chapter 1 is supposed to be 9 years later, and on the first page it says she's just turned 18 when something happens. But Brom, who is her childhood friend, is supposed to be a few years older, that we learned in the prologue, is also 18, which doesn't make sense because he's supposed to be a few years older than her. And then the next chapter is also is 4 years later in 1875, because 1871 is the first chapter, and then the second chapter is 1875, and she has just turned 19. Okay, that is just not logically, or that doesn't make sense timeline wise. I went back, I don't know how to explain this, as maybe other people do this, but I did this writing. My biggest thing has always been timelines. I think in timelines when I'm writing my novels, and or have in the past. It's been a while since I've written a full one, but the point is that when I would read other people's stuff, my biggest thing was always watching their timelines, going, well, this doesn't make sense because this happened before, just like I would mention that. And they were in my writing groups. A lot of times that was one of the things I was known for, is that I would catch timeline issues where they'd move things around, but they didn't make it make sense. I have cat hair in my mouth, sorry. But this one breaks that, like, right off. It gives 1862, she's 9 years old. 1871, she's 18, which makes sense. That's 9 years. I mean, even if you think different time of year, It could be 8 years. She would still be 17. But it says she's 18. She just turned 18. And then 4 years later, 1875, she's 19. She's just turned 19. Makes absolutely no sense to me. Now, if something comes back and there's a reason for this, I will be interested to see how that works, where she has not aged for 3 years. I'm not sure how that works. It could happen because there's something that happens in chapter 1. Maybe something happened and we just don't see it, but somehow she's put into stasis. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for I don't understand. By the time you guys probably see this, I'll hopefully have finished this book, so I will know more, but it is a duology. The second book isn't out in these new editions by Ace. I don't know if they're going to release the second one. I know it's independently published, so I might be able to find it if I get to that point. But anyway, as I said, I'm 65 pages in. Once I got past the first 3 chapters, so the prologue and the first 2 chapters, then I was okay because there was no timeline breaks. They still have stuff moving around. They said, like, there was Ichabod Crane had a chapter, or yeah, it was his first chapter that he was main POV, and it was 3 weeks before what had happened in the chapter before, or what was happening right then. I don't know how to, maybe I'm not explaining this right, but let's just put it this way. If I was the editor of this, that was like, it was ding, 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 there's a problem. These dates don't make sense with the age. And we're not, I think it's a mistake. I think, well, in part of the way, I think it's because of what happens in chapter 1, that she wanted to change the age, or somebody changed the age. And then, because of what happened, I just feel like there was something manipulated, and I don't know yet why. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, but because it's the first couple chapters, that's the only reason why I'm even complaining about this and in such a detail, because it drove me crazy. You don't understand. Like, if it doesn't make sense logically, she was 9, and then the timeline jumps 9 years. She's 18, which, I was kind of surprised because it didn't make sense, because he was also 18, even though he's supposed to be a couple years older than her. And then chapter 3, she's 19, and it's 4 years later. You don't age a year in 4 years. Anyway, we'll see. I'm curious to see if anything comes of that. We'll find out. I'll let you know. Because again, that is a problem for me. Like, that to me docks it right off of, that makes no sense. That's not, logically does not make any sense. So we will see. The rest of the story so far is good. I'm really enjoying, actually, now that we got Ichabod in and she's going to this institute. So this is Dark Academia in 1875 with magic school. And it's very mysterious and nobody can really tell what's going on there. I'm curious to see where things go. She's got kind of this lineage because her aunts work there and her mother wants her to go to this. And, so there's like these undertones, and I'm really curious because there is this kind of mysterious element of things. Definitely Ichabod has a past, and there are things we don't know what happened to Brahm, because in the first couple chapters he's disappeared, and we're told that right away. It's not anything, I'm not giving anything away, but oh my gosh, the timeline, it doesn't work. It makes no sense. So we will see what happens. Sorry, I ranted about that a little longer than I meant to, but the point is that that should be caught on an edit. If it's not, it just doesn't make sense. Again, if it comes back to where there's reasons for it, then I will come back and apologize and say that there's reasons. But right now, I don't see what they are. Anyway, so I will continue reading this physically tomorrow. I was hoping to get a little bit farther, but I didn't, it took me a little while to get started, and it's the evening, so I didn't read too much. I did watch, some booktube, so I got distracted. So anyway, that'll be my evening read. Hopefully tomorrow night I'll read more, because I'm now more into it. But tomorrow I'm going to start with Blackmouth and try to read this for that prompt. For the, what prompt was this one? Oh, the picture one. The picture, the drawing looks really realistic. And then, booktuber somebody's recommending. I am going to take this one just in case that if this one fails me, because I do have both audiobooks. So, but this will be my primary audiobook at work, and we'll see. Small Down. Something happened where this guy kind of left home, but he kind of left behind his estranged brother and their childhood friends. And something had happened that summer many years ago. And there's something about a strange man who taught them strange magic. And that's about all I know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope I like this author. It'd be nice to pick up another horror author that I like. So, but we'll find out. I just don't know. So anyway, that'll be the one that I first try. If I have trouble with that or I need a break from it, I will start Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. I forgot to say his name earlier. Because I do have that. I bought the UK version. That's why the cover looks different than a lot of people's covers here. But I like this one. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. But then, as I said, I will come back to Hollow. And then again, this one has scare. Sort of. In the title. Or spelled out. Anyway, I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Probably after work, because again, I have to go to work. Bummer.
Okay, guys, so it is just after 5. I just got home a few minutes ago. Pizza's in the oven, so we're gonna try to do this fast. Anyway, today was a fine day at work. It was fine, but my reading was way off. I also had to run the forklift like twice in the last hour before I left work. That sucked. That part of the work part wasn't fun because everybody else was gone and I had to do it. Anyway, so today I was going to listen to some of the audiobooks I had that I had for prompts for this. And the one I picked for Booktuber Rec was Blackmouth by Ronald Malfi, and I have DNF this at 22 pages. I'm not sure if I'm going to fully DNF this, so this is just a for now. The problem I had with this is that the main character, Jamie, the first 20 pages is pretty much talking about how horrible his life is, that he is an alcoholic, he caused an accident at work and was sent to rehab, and then things were happening while he was being detoxed that I think have something's going to happen with him going back home, because he gets a call a little bit after he gets out of rehab that his brother was found wandering around the town because he lived with his mother and his mother had passed away. And so he has to go back and figure out what to do with his brother and other stuff that's going on. So anyway, but right away I didn't like him. And that's never a good sign for me, is that I didn't feel any sympathy for him. And I just don't know. We'll see. So I'm not sure. It wasn't the audiobook's fault. It was done by Joe Pell. And I'm not sure. So I'm going to return the audiobook on Libby. And this is going back on my shelf. And then maybe in another year, I'll try it again. Anyway, I did try also Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell, but my brain just was wandering too much while I tried to listen to this by Carmen Rose. Not the book's fault. I think it was just too whimsy. I didn't want to I wasn't focusing. And so I only got like 3 or 4 pages in and I went, I'm not listening. So I'm going to put that back on my shelf. I actually might put it back in my stack of the books that I might try to get to this spooky season, because I still really want to read that one, but today was just not that day. But that one I have like better feeling about. Like it really wasn't the book that turned me off. It really was just I was not listening. So and then I tried another Libby book that I had that I don't have a physical for, was Hampton Heights by Dan Corus, I think. And I just didn't like the way it sounded. It was about, some little or young teenage boys in the 80s, and it's parts of it sounded like it would be good, but I didn't write off, they were teenage boy thoughts, and I was like, I don't feel like this either, so I just let it go back to the library. Anyway, so it took me a little bit to finally find an audiobook I wanted to listen to, and of course, what did I do? I went for a reread. But I did not want to read any more Nalini Singh because I've been reading quite a bit of her rereads. And I also thought about doing Anne Bishop and going back to the other series, but I only read that back in April. So it hasn't been long enough. But it was a close call. Like, I almost did Written and Read. Like, it was close because my brain was just like, I need a reread. I need something that I know I like. So I picked something from The Nightside by Simon R. Green. Is the first book in the Nightside series, or John Taylor series. So this is a bind up of 3 of them. So the first one is called Something from the Nightside, and I happen to have that on audio. I didn't remember buying it, but I must have got it on sale at some point. And again, I read this many years ago. I got this in this book physically in a book swap with some writer friends back in like 2007. So I think that's when I read it. I have to check my notes, but something close to that. Anyway, this is a series I just adore by Simon R. Green, and I read it as it was like I had to catch up on the first. I think about the 5 or 6 were out when I found this series, and then I binged them all, and then I had to wait for every book to come out. It was kind of hard. Anyway, so this is an urban fantasy following John Taylor, who at the beginning of Something from the Nightside, he is living in the normal human world, working as a PI, and he's not doing very good. And he is drawn back into the Nightside, which is this alternate universe kind of that takes place right next to London. It's kind of a place where dreams go to die, pretty much. There's like there's so much violence, but there's aliens, and then there's other things. There's a lot of fantasy elements in this thing. It's very, very paranormal, alien, sci-fi kind of ish, but it's kind of all meshed together. I would classify this as a urban fantasy due to the fact that he's a PI, but he comes in trying to help this woman find her teenage daughter who has gone missing. And it's their adventure of him coming back after having left the Nightside 5 years before, after something bad happened, and him running into people that he knows and trying to figure out where this girl went, and then what happens from there. And again, this is like I think it's a 10-book series. I've really enjoyed it. I have reread it in the past, but it's been many years since I've done that, and I've just been thinking about this series and another one, which I'll talk about in a second. So I did listen to that. That was done by, where did I just put that sticky note? By Dan Callan. So I did already get the second one from Libby because it was there. I'm hoping the whole series is on Libby. We'll find out. But right now on Audible Plus, a lot of Simon R. Green's books are on there. This was actually on there as well, in a couple of them. But when I was looking at that, trying to decide if I was going to go, because again, I finished that right before, probably like about 3 o'clock. I finished that, and then these are the first book is only 230 pages, so it didn't take very long. And I was like, well, do I want to continue to the next book of that one? Because I very well could. But I saw that Ghost of a Chance by Simon R. Green, the first book in the Ghost Finders, was also on Audible Plus. And the first 3 are available until the 21st. So I thought, maybe I better listen to the first 3 while I can for free, because my Libby doesn't have them. At least ours doesn't. Anyway, so this is, again, another one of a series that came after the Nightside series, and this is following 3 ghost hunters, pretty much, and they work for an institute that sends them out to try to, pretty much protect the world from ghosts and other things in the world, and it always goes in such weird directions. Like, it's one of those paranormal ones where you just don't know, demons, gods, or other kind of things that could happen. And I just really enjoy it. And I love the humor in these ones. The 3 of them are just always making fun of the other one. So I really enjoy it. So anyway, I think I made it about 85 pages in. by the time I got home. Again, these are really short. This is only 260 pages. So I'm hoping that I can get this done sometime this weekend because it's pretty short. I could like, do some other crafts, or, I mean, I don't do a lot of crafts, but there's things I want to try that I have. So I could do that after my trip with my parents and my brother to the winery tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow afternoon or Sunday I can do some audio booking. But anyway, I'm going to read that. So, and again, this rereads. I read these as they came out. Anyway, so, and this is a 6-book series. Did I say that? This is a 6-book series, and this is a 10-book series. So I will probably come back to this one because I do have the second one ready to go. But, yeah, these were not what I planned today. This was not planned, but I'm going to use it for prompts. This is going to be my, equipment prompt, which it kind of looks like it's a photograph, but I'm pretty sure it's drawn, or part of it's drawn. Maybe it just I don't know, maybe it is a photograph and I just don't know it, but I'm going to count it for the equipment. And then I DNF'd the booktuber recommendation one. So I'm going to do the other activity, which is to, I think, have a fall eat or drink. And I just got some candy in the mail. So I'm going to eat some Reese's peanut butter cups tonight. So we're going to go with that. And then, and if that isn't the right prompt, then I will come back. Maybe it was the drink. I don't know. We'll have to look. If it's the drink, then I had a iced caramel blondie this morning. So I'm going to count that. And then this one I'm going to use for the ghost prompt, which is funny because it's the ghost finders. But anyway, we're going to go with it. We have to spell out scare. So C. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Apologies, but pizza is doing the last few minutes. Anyway, so again, to spell scare, I have to do S and then C, A, R, and E. So I'm going to count this for the third prompt, the ghost prompt. And this audiobook was done by Tony Leonard Moore. And so far, so good. It is weird listening to books that I've only read physically before after so many years. And I have reread both these series at least twice. I've read it once and then reread at least them all the way through at least one other time. So it's weird to listen to them. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. So far, it's okay. I'm having fun. It just, the humor is hitting pretty good in this. Even with the accent, it's English accents, because they're in England and they're English. It's just different because of what I've been reading. Anyway, so then really, really quickly, I will be continuing to read Hollow, which again was for the even number of letters in a title, which is my first prompt. So anyway, we're going to go with that. I mean, that's the best I can do. So tomorrow I will probably roll again for a couple more to pick out at least a couple more to get through Saturday and Sunday. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish this tomorrow night because I'm going to try to get through a good chunk tonight. But we'll see, because again, I'm going to the winery with my parents. So I don't know I won't be reading anything until late afternoon. And then this will be my audiobook, which I will try to get to at some point. Hopefully sometime. Maybe on Sunday. We'll see. I'm going to try. I might roll at least 2 more to get to the spot that I need to get to, and then we can see what happens. Anyway, I will check in later.
Okay, just a quick update. It's just after 10 o'clock on Friday, and I got to page 130, so not as far as I was hoping to get. I just didn't read as much. I kind of had a hour where I did a lot of doom scrolling. I don't know why. I need to find a way to stop touching my phone. But anyway, so far I'm really enjoying this. I'm really curious still, because it's building on the Sleepy Hollow stuff, but we haven't quite got to the Headless Horseman or that. It's really just Kat going to this institute, is it the Sleepy Hollow Institute? I don't know, whatever the college is that she's going. And there's some really weird things about it, and I think the world building is really cool. I'm really enjoying that. I like Kat, and I like Crane, or Ichabod Crane. And I mean, he's not a guy that I would like, as personally, but he's so complicated, which is good. I think it's really interesting because, again, he has such history, and again, things are happening. Again, we're still pretty early. The book is like 340 pages, I think. Yeah. And as I said, I'm only at 130, so I still have 210 pages. But I will definitely be continuing that. The second book does have a release date for these editions. It comes out December 2nd. So if I do like it, I will probably put that on my list to get in December. Anyway, so I did look back, and the box number 12, which is the prompt that I didn't do because I DNF'd. The other prompt was it was to have a fall treat. I think it was a treat, like a treat of some sort. So again, I have my little Reese's little ghost. So I'm gonna have him for a dessert. Anyway, so I'm gonna just do that for that square. And then, as I said, tomorrow at some point, maybe it'll be Sunday morning. I don't know. It just depends on how tomorrow goes. As I said, tomorrow I have to get up and I have to spot clean the house because my parents are coming. They won't be in my house very long, but the cats keep knocking their little scratching thing all over the place. So I have to get all the cardboard off the floor, little pieces that it just goes everywhere. And I just didn't do it this week during the week. I just, did it on the weekends, but I should, yeah. And then I'll clean around the house a little bit on the, all the stuff on my couch. Try to clean that up a little bit. But as I said, they're going to be here about 10:30, and then we'll drive to the winery on the waterfront. Hopefully I'll get some B-roll of that, and then we'll do some wine tasting, and then we'll come back towards this side of town, I think, and then we'll get lunch. So it'll be kind of a late lunch, but I might be a little buzzed. We'll see how much wine. If it's only a little bit, then we're good, but you never know. But I'm not driving, so it doesn't matter. And then as I said, I'm figuring by 2:33 they'll be on their way home, and I will get to start reading again. So I don't plan to get much reading done before they get here, just because I'll have a couple hours, but not too many. And then we'll see what happens. Like I said, I would really like to finish this tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. And I'm hoping that maybe when I'm cleaning, I can listen to Ghosts of a Chance and at least get a little bit farther into that. So we will see. I think that's everything. Anyway, sorry. I was hoping to do a shorter update than that, but that's it. So, okay. I will check in with you guys tomorrow at some point.
I was thinking maybe if we get a chance to stop at your Hall Books.
Oh, yeah.
In your area. Are they going to take a trip to France?
guys, so it is about 3:30 and I just got home. That's Truman there. Anyway, I had a good time with my parents. As I said, they picked me up about 10:45, and then we drove over to, sorry, I have something in my throat. So then we drove over to Vancouver to the waterfront area and went to the Mary Hill Winery store there. And my dad and I tested 7 different wines, which was really fun. I was feeling pretty good when we left. We had little bread things to snack on, which was good. And then Cooper. Anyway, and then and then we drove back to Portland, back to Beaverton, and went to the Powell's bookstore on Cedar Hills, which is the one I go to the most. And my dad and I shopped a little bit. I picked up one book, which was Ghost Business by Jen DeLuca. They had a used copy, so I picked it out. The only thing I can see that's wrong with it is that there's like one little section is a little higher than the rest. But and again, I really liked Haunted Ever After enough to continue the series. So this follows one of the girls we met in the first book. But I think the male is the new person to the area. And again, Boneyard Key? Yeah, Boneyard Key, Florida, and they're like the most haunted place in Florida or something like that. And so anyway, I liked the first one, Haunted Ever After, so I found the second one used. So I used credit, so I didn't pay any money for this. I still have about $15 in credit at Pal's, but I have like 4 bags of stuff to take back to try to sell. So I will have to decide on a Saturday or Sunday to actually make the effort to to put them into my car and then drive them to there and then stand in line and then wait. Anyway, Cooper is just busybody. Anyway, so that's what I got. Anyway, then we went to Olive Garden for lunch, downtown Beaverton, and then my parents drove me back home. We did pick up my brother some of those takeout meals at Olive Garden, so we bought him dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow. But beyond that, that's it. So again, I'm home. Cooper is rubbing on the phone. Sorry. Anyway, so I am going. Oh, jeez. Cat. Really? He's right here. You can't see him. He's right next to it. Anyway, let me pick this up. Anyway, so I did listen to a little bit of this while I was waiting for my parents. So I am. Kitty, get away from my drink. I haven't made much. I made about 30 pages before they showed up on just listening to it as I was doing a word, like one of those word search books. Sorry, I'm not holding this very well. But it's a Halloween word search book. Anyway, I figure this would be the one I use this month, you know. Anyway, and I hadn't started it until this morning, so. Anyway, is that a fall activity? It's a Halloween word search. Anyway, so I'm not going to roll or do anything. We'll see how it goes because I still have the audiobook and I'm still working on Hallow. As I said, I'm not as far as I was hoping I would be at 130 pages, but that's fine. As I said, I have the evening and, you know, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'll finish anything today. So it might not be till tomorrow morning or tomorrow during the day. We'll see what happens. As I said, I really like to roll it one more time to get me to the spot before the door so that then I'm ready for next weekend. Maybe next weekend I'll read more. Just, you know, so far not going so well for me here. So anyway, I think that's it. I will check in with you guys later if anything changes or anything happens. But it could be tomorrow. Anyway, and I know my beef footage wasn't as good as I was hoping, but that's just how it goes when you're hanging out with people who don't normally film things. And, you know, I didn't want to do too much. Anyway, I will check in later. Sorry, I did notice that somehow I forgot to mention the reason my parents picked me up and we went, and I brought food back for my brothers because my brother isn't feeling very well and he didn't go with us. So he has a sore throat, and he's actually now, I just took food over to him and he sounded pretty congested. So I'm kind of glad he didn't go with us because he didn't look good. I'm hoping he's okay. So we've already decided that we are not going grocery shopping together tomorrow. We are going in separate cars. So I might go to a different grocery store. I'm kind of thinking about, is this bad that I want to kind of go over to Trader Joe's? I don't go there very often, but kind of pick up different things because I think they have kind of like, fall, October stuff that they have now. And I also want to kind of go to and pick up some bread from Great Harvest, which is over there. So I might do that tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how I feel in the morning. Anyway, now my throat is starting to bother me, and I hope it's nothing. Anyway, it doesn't hurt. It's just I swallowed something wrong, and it's not healing. Anyway, so I just wanted to add that little, clarification on that. So hoping my brother feels better and I don't get sick, and we'll see how tomorrow goes with, I will have to go grocery shopping. So anyway, by myself, which is no big deal. It's just, I might go somewhere else than I normally do just because I can. That was a downpour. Scared the cats. What? Yeah. Okay, so it is like 9:30 at night. I didn't read for hours. I took a nap, and me and the cats just hung out. They were cuddly. I fell asleep. Anyway, I just didn't feel like reading tonight, but I did listen to an audiobook, and then I did my word search, my Halloween word search, and I finished Ghost of a Chance by Simon R. Green, so the first book in the Ghost Finder series. So this was a great reread. I still need to go back and look to see how many times, I don't know how many times I've reread this series, but I've read it at least twice all the way through. I might have read it a third time. I don't know. The first time I read it was when it came out in, I think it was 2010. And yeah, because right at that time I was reading Simon R. Green, like anything he published, like I would read it right away. I still read a lot of his stuff. There's a couple series that I have not enjoyed. I didn't like the Hyde. I don't know, it was Jekyll and Hyde. It was a different change to the name. I don't remember how it goes. Anyway, I didn't finish that book. And then I didn't like the Gideon Sable one. I think that was the last name. I don't remember, because it was stealing and stuff, and so I just didn't like that one. Anyway, so I don't like everything of his, but I do love 4 of his series that I've really enjoyed, which again is The Night Side, The Ghost Finders, Ishmael Jones, and well, now the new one that is publishing is The Holy Terrors. So I think Ishmael Jones is done because there hasn't been another book. That last one, I was hoping there would be at least another one, but whatever. But anyway, so I have read this a couple of times, at least twice, maybe third time. So this is definitely a favorite. I just find them fun. They're not like the best thing ever, but his imagination on the way he does the ghost stuff and the paranormal in his books are just fun. Very different. Nightside, again, was very much that I read or reread, or I reread that yesterday. It was so fun to be back in that world. I'm going to reread that series. I'm going to reread this series. I've been putting them off. I've been thinking about them because, again, I've been like right now, the Holy Terrors, I mean, I did get 2 books this year, which was really nice. So I got book 2 and 3 in that series. So that was nice. But those are different. Those are more mystery Scooby-Doo-ish kind of ones. While Ishmael Jones was more sci-fi alienish, but with ghostly other stuff. It was kind of neat. So anyway, they're all kind of different, but they're all have a slight paranormal element, if not fully paranormal. And again, this one is. I really enjoy this. Not everybody's going to like them. I like them because they're short, they're funny, punchy, they're high dialogue. But his imagination is just incredible for me. I think he just thinks up the weirdest stuff that Nightside and Ghost Finders definitely showcases. So anyway, I really enjoyed this. I am going to continue my reread of this. If not right away, like tomorrow, I'll probably read it sometime this week or our next weekend, because again, the first 3 are available on Audible Plus right now until the 21st. So if I can get through the audio, again, I've never listened to these on audio, so that was an interesting experience, because I think I hear their voices different in my head because the couple times I've read it, so it's kind of weird, but I'm finding it fun. So anyway, I did enjoy that reread. I just didn't feel like reading physically, and then my eyes got tired from looking at the word search. So I think Hollow is just going to have to wait till tomorrow, and I will try to focus on that tomorrow afternoon to try to get that done. I'm still 210 pages from the end, so that'll be my probably afternoon project. We'll see. It just depends. It doesn't, like, I don't have to read anything. I don't have to do anything, but that's kind of I just didn't feel like reading it today, and it's not the book's fault. That was really me being tired from my little outing, and then it got warm in here, and because I turned the heat on. Yes, I finally cracked and turned the heat on because it was too cold in my house. Because it's just, and again, we had the downpour. It was raining for a while, but kind of was like fine for, it just got really dark all of a sudden, and then as I said, I just decided to listen to the audiobook. Anyway, so I got another prompt done. This one was for the ghost prompt. So, I mean, I still haven't finished the very first prompt box that I had, but So tomorrow morning, as I said, I'm probably going to get up and then go grocery shopping. Hopefully get that done early. Then I'll come back and I will probably roll at least once, if not twice, trying to get to that position in front of the door. Again, I'll show that all tomorrow. And then maybe we'll see. You know, I might not finish anything tomorrow. I mean, hopefully I'll finish Hollow before 6 p.m. But, you know, because it's going to go to 6, and then I will close out this vlog and then do something else. I do need to film something, a book haul from September, because I want to put those books away because there's so many. I bought a lot of books. Well, there was a lot of sales. Well, there was a library book sale, and then I bought other books. Anyway, point is that the book, not buying books hasn't worked really well for me, but you know, whatever. What was the other thing I had to do? Well, and then I just have to do normal stuff for, as I said, if I do grocery shopping early, then I can do laundry in the afternoon. And as I said, we'll see how it goes. So, I think that's it. So I will check in with you tomorrow morning. I'll probably, as I said, do the little rolls and get myself to that position for next weekend. Again, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I maybe didn't, get as much done this time around, but it's just for fun. This is just to break up my reading from what I'm going to do during the week. I'm hoping to pick up a big Victober book next week, but I might have to insert some of the Simon R. Green books in between stuff. So we'll see how this works. Or else I'll be binging a lot of Simon R. Green next week and not doing Victober. We'll see what happens. I at this point, I cannot guarantee. I have to check to see which ones I have access to. Some I can get from my library, as I said, but not everything. So we'll see. Anyway, I will check with you guys tomorrow.
Are you good in your box? Hey guys, so it is now Sunday and it's about 9 o'clock. I think it's just about that time. I went grocery shopping. I went a little late, but I went to Trader Joe's. I bought a few things I probably shouldn't have, but you know, you always want to try new things. Anyway, and then I got a coffee and then came home. Oh, my hair is in my face. Anyway, so haven't done my set this morning. I did start Ghost of a Smile by Simon R. Green, which is book number 2. So we're gonna roll and hope one of the prompts goes for this, but whatever, this is my next audiobook, so I probably won't listen to it today after this, so maybe it doesn't matter, but it might count to get me through. Anyway, so as I said, I didn't pick up Hollow at all yesterday. I didn't read at all. I just listened to the other book in this series. So anyway, which I put back on my back on my shelf. Anyway, so I want to just roll until I get to that one spot, and then, you know, if I need to, I have some manga I could maybe read. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see how this goes. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay, I did try to do some rolls and then I messed up and counted wrong, so we're just gonna restart. So okay, again, I was on the Ghost, so hopefully we will get a good number. We will see. Yeah, here we go, because again, I want to get to 19 so that I can go into I think it's the living room next week. Anyway, so we're gonna go with 4, or we're gonna roll 5. Okay, let's see. Oh, can I make it in 5? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Okay, so I made it to 19 in one roll. That works for me. So 19 is to read a book that is a continuation or an anticipated fall activity. And what am I gonna do? My continuation. Anyway, that worked out good. I'm glad I didn't roll more than, I mean, the last, I guess said, this is a redo because I did try to, I just counted wrong in my last one. So this will work out. I'm glad that worked. Okay. So my last roll will be, for Ghost of a Smile, the second book in the Ghost Finders series. So I think that works out really well. Again, I don't know if I will listen. Oh, my nose, it's just much to this today because I just listened to the first 30 pages out and about. And then when I first got back, and then as I said, today I'm hoping to get a good chunk or finish Hollow before 6 p.m. because I am going 6 p.m. on Thursday to 6 p.m. on Sunday for my 72 hours. So we'll see what I get done. I don't know if I might come back to this in the afternoon. If I finish this early, which would be not, yes, kitty. If I finish this early, then I might be able to listen to a bit of the audiobook, like by doing my word search. But, you know, we'll see. It just depends how I feel. Because right now I'm going to film another video. Oh, my book haul. Whoops. Anyway. And then I have to reorganize some of my books here. I've, you know, this last week was a couple of DNFs and stuff, so I want to track those and get them into my piles of stuff I want to get rid of. I still need to go to Pals and do that and get rid of those books. But that's maybe next weekend or the weekend after's issue. I just didn't work out this weekend. Anyway, I think that's it. So I am going to, as I said, I'm going to do a little filming and then I will probably settle down for the rest of the day and hopefully I'll get some reading done today. It just depends on how I feel. I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not super strict with myself right now. I have to read and I have to finish this. These are the 2 books I'm going to work on, but that doesn't mean I'll finish either one of them or that I'll get to either one of them. They're just the books. This is my physical book right now. So when I want to read physically, I will be reading this. This is my audiobook right now. And I will probably listen to this. If not today, it'll be tomorrow at work. So, you know, I'll get them done at some point. I mean, I'm trying to get them on in the weekend, but I'm not gonna like rush and hurry and get it done. Sorry. I don't feel like it. So we're not gonna do that. So anyway, that's it for now. I will come back probably in the afternoon if I've made progress on these, or finish one of them would be nice. And then, as I said, this vlog will close out at 6 p.m. So I'll be for sure giving you an update at the end. So we'll see what happens. Yes, Cooper. Yes, I know. I know.
Hey guys, so it is now just after 6 o'clock, and I have finished Hollow by Karina Howley. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad I did read this as quickly as I got it. It's not normal for me to pick up a book I bought a couple of days ago and read it, but this was really good. Again, a Sleepy Hollow retelling with a magical college and how do I say it? A love triangle between Brahm, Ichabod Crane, and Katrina. I just think it's just it did get really spicy in the end, just so you know. A Gothic Shade of Romance is the name of the series. That's an interesting title for it. But it's fun. I really enjoyed this. Overall, I liked how again, it got pretty spicy there, but it was more, the things that I liked with the story was the way that it twists the tale, and when the Headless Horseman does make its appearance and what happens with that is, was kind of cool, shocking a little bit of which way things were going, and I'm really curious to see how they're going to solve things in the second book. And it's a duology, so there's only one other book called Legend, and it comes out I think on December 2nd. So I will be buying that. There's no way I will not be buying that one. I need to know what happens. Because I really enjoyed this. I really had fun. Yeah. So anyway, I finished that. So I got that done. Probably just a little bit after 6 o'clock, but it was close enough. I was within a couple of pages when that happened. So I am finishing this vlog up here so that I'll start another one for the next 4 days, and then we'll do that vlog until I get to Halloweekend number 3. But where I'm at on books, I did get to 158 of Ghost of a Smile by Simon R. Green. Again, this is book 2 in the Ghost Finders series. So I'm really enjoying my reread of this. It's still done by Tony Leonard Moore. So the audiobook that I have right now from Audible Plus catalog until the 21st. So I'm taking advantage of it to get, to listen to them, because it's just fun to see it, to hear it when I've read it a couple of times physically. So anyway, I am enjoying this one. This one, they're going to a medical facility that was doing something they probably shouldn't have, and it goes awry. So again, they're there to take care of the paranormal side of it. I really enjoy these. These are just fun. And they again, you have to like the humor. And these are, some of that's a little gross in this one because of stuff, but of certain things, but still, I still like them. Anyway, so I'm over halfway, so I will finish this tomorrow. I think I have just under 2 hours left to listen to. So I'll probably finish this early tomorrow morning at work when I have time. It matters on my workload, but hopefully I will get this done. And then, I don't know what I'm going to read physically, so I won't talk about that, but I will go on to the next book, Ghost of a Dream, for book number 3, because again, I want to read that to listen to it while I can from Audible Plus. And then I might go back to the Nightside series. But we will see. I'm in a Simon R. Green mood. Who knew? It goes with October. I think it's fine. Now, so I'm going to close the vlog out here. That's about all I can say. I don't know what I'm going to read physically next. It'll be either one of the books that I've started already, which I have a couple books that I started last month and this month that I haven't, mostly from last month that I haven't read, finished, and then one from this month. So, you know, we might do that. I don't know if I feel like I might not read a spooky book because I've read so much already recently, and I'm going to be, all my audios are going to probably be Simon R. Green. We'll see. I'm not sure. But that's it. So I really enjoyed participating in it. And again, I will have Lexi's announcement video linked down below. If I didn't say it was put on by Books with Lexi, I thought I did in the beginning, but who knows by this point. So anyway, there's still a couple weekends left. You can totally join in whenever you want. I think it's just really fun to roll and go for the prompts. As I said, I can't do this all the time, but every once in a while it's fun to play this way. And I'm just trying it out this time, and I'm having fun because I'm only doing it on the weekends, and then the rest of the week I can read whatever I want. Although, as you can tell, I am kind of making the prompts work for me. So that's kind of how it's going. So anyway, that's it. Again, I'll post this, and my book haul will be out on Wednesday, and then Friday you'll get the next 4 days. So that is it. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye.